Uneven tacking stitch. At the end of this class, you'll be able to sew an uneven tacking stitch, determine the applications of the uneven tacking stitch, how to do an uneven tacking stitch. Do you remember the uneven tacking stitch introduced in one of the previous classes? This is what it looks like. Now let's see how it is sewn. Step 1. Work with single or double thread, knotted at the end. Start with a knot so that they may be easily removed later on. Step 2. Start on the right unless you're left-handed. Step 3. Make an evenly spaced stitches of differing length by taking the needle in and out of the fabric. Step 4. Continue till the end of the line. Step 5. End a line of tacking with one back stitch and tie a knot by taking a small stitch and inserting the needle through the loop, pulling it and securing the knot. Snip the thread with a scissor. So that's the uneven tacking stitch. This is what the right side of the uneven tacking stitch looks like. And this is what the wrong side of the uneven tacking stitch looks like. If you notice, the uneven tacking is the same method as that of the even tacking, except that, in the even tacking, the stitches and the space are equal in length, whereas in uneven tacking stitch, the stitches and space are of unequal length. Step 6. To release the tacking stitches, just cut off the knots on both ends and pull out the thread. Now let's see the applications of the uneven tacking stitch. The applications of the uneven tacking stitch. The uneven tacking stitch is used to temporarily hold a seam or trim in place until it can be permanently sewn. With that, we come to the end of this class. Before we leave, let's recall what you have learnt in this class. The way of sewing the uneven tacking stitch. Starting from the right with a knotted thread, unevenly spaced stitches of differing length are made by taking the needle in and out of the fabric and ending with a back stitch and a knot. The different applications of the uneven tacking stitch. The uneven tacking stitch is used to temporarily hold a seam or trim in place until it can be permanently sewn. Take the next class to know more about the third type of tacking stitch, diagonal tacking stitch.